Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be going over the concept of wrapper classes. So what exactly is a wrapper class, you may be asking yourself? A wrapper class is nothing but a class that wraps a primitive data type and gives it an object-like appearance. Each primitive data type has a corresponding wrapper class. For example, int with a small I has a corresponding wrapper class of capital I integer, or car has a corresponding wrapper class of character, etc. Now, these wrapper classes behave very similar to primitive data types, except they have a few added functionalities which we'll be going over. Now, we know what a wrapper class is, but what exactly is a wrapper class used for? So one situation in which wrapper classes are used are changing the original value of the variable. So whenever we pass primitive data types into functions, we use the concept of call by value, which means that a copy of the primitive data type is the value that is being passed into the function. So if we change the value of the copy, then it won't reflect back on the original variable that we passed in. But what if we wanted to change the original variable's value? In those cases, we could use a wrapper class. By making it of integer or capital I integer, we could pass the value of capital I integer into the function so that pass by or call by reference occurs, and the original value changes. Another case is serialization. So in order to perform serializations, we need to convert objects into streams. Serialization is the concept of converting data into the byte stream. And the use of this is so that we can retrieve data that was created when the program was run before and terminated. So if we run a program and we terminate it, then all the data is usually destroyed. But by using serialization, we can retrieve the data that was supposed to be destroyed and use it when we run the program again. Now, we need objects to convert it into the byte stream, and so to pass a value of primitive data type int, we would have to convert it into capital I integer. Now, another very simple use of wrapper classes is to convert strings into other data types. Now, we all know that it's basically impossible for Java to convert a string into a primitive data type like int or double. So, wrapper classes help us avoid or overcome this obstacle. Now, let's see some wrapper class functions. So, like any object, wrapper classes also have functions in them which the user can use. One such example is int x is equal to integer.parseInt, and you pass a string inside of it. Now, this is the third use that I talked about, in which we are passing in a string to this function, and it's returning back a value of int primitive data type int. So we can now convert strings into to primitive data type values as well with the help of wrapper classes. Then we can do the same thing for a double data type. So double d is equal to parse double, and you pass the string inside. Now, and this works the same way as it does for integer.parseInt. But do keep in mind, if you pass in letters or characters, then it does throw an error. So you can only pass in numbers or basically anything that a double can hold. There are two concepts that come under wrapper classes, which are AUTOBOXING and unboxing. AUTOBOXING is nothing but the automatic conversion of a primitive data type to the object of their corresponding wrapper class, whereas unboxing, as you may have guessed, is the automatic conversion of a wrapper class into its corresponding primitive type. Now, there are two examples of this, and I'll go over them for you. So in the first example, we can see that we have created a variable int a is equal to 50, which is of primitive data type. And then we have created a wrapper class object, which is integer a3 is equal to a, which is basically auto-boxing the value of A into an object form. So, and when we print A3 using system.println, it prints 50 as we would want. Now, this may seem pretty obvious, but before the concept of autoboxing and unboxing was involved, there were many, many more steps involved to convert a primitive data type into an integer wrapper class. Now, in unboxing, we give a variable k the value of an integer object which we pass the value of 50 inside of. Then we give primitive data type variable a the value of k. And when we try to system.print that value, we get the value of 50, which is exactly what we want. If we didn't have unboxing, then there would be plenty more steps involved in this process, much making this process much more complicated than it has to be. And with that, you are now aware of everything that comes under the concept of wrapper classes. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you like the video. Thank you.